Good evening, good evening, good evening. Northwest there. It is Farmer Ben here. Well, this video isn't the one I was actually planning. I was going to do a video about an alliance war, looking for a guy called Violence who needs to, who I was hoping to attack. Unfortunately, rather frustratingly, in my last war attack, if we can, does it show you the most recent attacks? Here we are, going to battlefield. Most recent attacks. I'm really cross. I attacked Tiggy. I beat Tiggy, but then my phone lost reception and it has counted it as 0. So even though I'd knocked his team out, I'm now back to square one. Not that I'm cross. So, yes, so let's not dwell on that. Let us instead move on to the other subject I've been asked to do a video about at the moment. So the other subject I've been asked to do a video about is the later stages on event quests. So when I go into event quests, as you can see, Fables Grim Forest is up. This is the new version of Fables Grim Forest. I am currently I'm working on level 13. You will see that I've gone for greens. Now, you may be looking at it and thinking, greens? Why'd you go greens when red is the reverse colour? So you would obviously never go red, or nearly never go red. In this particular occasion, however, if you go online and check out the various this is what you can expect charts, or if you just play it and replay it, you'll see that this level is blue and green, and there is no need to stack against the reds. So it makes sense to take a green team. So here's my green team. They're all 3 stars. They're all attackers except for Brienne, who is a booster. Basically, that's my current philosophy. I am going to swap here because this is getting on to the later stages of the game. I tend to say bear banners for the earlier stages. This is a personal thing. I don't think a lot of people do it. I take a bear banner because I figure that most of the time you can kill everyone without resorting to using mana potions and what have you. Here I'm going to take the mana potions instead. So I've got mana potions, minor mana, axes, and arrows. When I am playing at this kind of level, is basically if the screen is not awesome, I will throw it away. So I suspect, yeah, there we go. Screen is not awesome. Incidentally, I'm sitting outside in a very cold porch because my Wi-Fi has gone horrendously wrong. Well, I say it's gone horrendously wrong. Life has generally gone horrendously wrong. The Wi-Fi in particular. So I just have to do the best with what I can now. I'm not even going to replay it. Basically, at this point in time, normally I replay the earlier levels. Basically what I tend to do is hit just if I don't, even if I don't think I'm going to win, I just hit carry on and let the game sort itself out because I'd rather have the resources you get for winning. At this stage, I probably wouldn't win if I just hit auto and left auto to it. Auto would probably lose. So when auto doesn't give me a good screen, I just restart. And unfortunately, that is the key thing for getting a high score in any of these things. It is like literally you just need an awesome screen, and you need an awesome screen probably followed by another awesome screen, because now one awesome screen is not really enough. I need a screen which sets up a secondary awesome screen, because one awesome screen is not going to be quite enough to get me through the levels. So here I will do this, and then I will go bomb, 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 bomb. This may cut it. It's not quite going to do it. So basically, I'm 42 seconds in, which, ridiculous as it sounds, is too late. So I'm not going to manage it. I might beat the bosses. I may just carry this one on just to show you beating the bosses, but basically it's too late, really. So moving on to the bosses, I've lost enough time. I would automatically target the red hero because they are the one who will be least damaged by my green tiles. The other two are equal, so it doesn't really make any difference. The reds, obviously the damage is halved, so I'll focus on the greens. The main thing is to get through the other levels really quickly. Now, if I was actually playing this to win, I would probably, at this point would be the point, I would chuck in all my arrows and axes and whatever else to soften the bosses up so that I can beat them. And to me, as I understand it, as I go for it on these sort of later levels, that's really what you're doing. You are hoping for an awesome screen, and then you soften the bosses up with said axes, arrows, bombs, etc., etc. You don't really, you don't clear the second. The way I do it is I'm not clearing the second phase. Sorry, that's not the one I wanted to press. Flee. I'm not clearing the second phase with bombs, arrows, and axes. I'm clearing the third stage with bombs, arrows, and axes. Or in this case, arrows and axes. Sorry, I should say, because I'm only on rare. So yeah, that is the point where I go. Oh yeah, okay, right. It's time to swap. Let's go. Let's go arrows and axes. They do as much damage against the bosses regardless of how tough the bosses are, etc., and which color they are and whatever else. And that's where I sort of frantically go for the battle items. I can't show you here. This is one of these ones, like I say, with the Wi-Fi and whatever else. I don't want to make this a particularly long video, and yet it may be, because it is one of those ones. Let's try this. This will trigger a combo, big combo, bum bum bum. Still looking for that combo. Really, a big combo would be nice. This is going to be the move which decides whether I keep going or not. And I'm going to say not. Really, you want a big combo in your first few moves, because obviously you want the match bonus, which is all to do with combos. You also want the... and this one's got a chest. The chests... Yeah, the chests can actually help, because you get 5,000 points automatically for getting a chest. The downside of said chest is that sugar, that was stupid. The downside of the chest is that you have to kill the darn thing. There we are. Right, chest is dead, and obviously they are guarded half the time and whatever else have you. This one I will probably just see through just to get the chest. It's worth coins if I can do it without getting too carried away with battle items and whatever else, because I like to save my battle items. I know that wasn't the obvious move to make there, but I may as well like store up the greens. So this one you'll sort of see the bosses and how I might deal with them. Thing is I'm not going to want to use battle items, because battle items are relatively, at this point, they are expensive. You run out of them so quickly, it is terrifying, and that is what I want to I want to basically keep a few for levels I want. So don't use battle items unless you're sure you're going to need them. If you are doing it in slow time, which is now what I am, you may as well get your special skills ready, which is what I'm doing now. So you'll see, boom, basically all of my heroes have got their special skills ready. Target the off color one, so that's going to be this. In red is going to be the off color one this time, because red is going to be the one that has no there's no advantage. If I hit red, my attacks will be weakened. She will slowly be poisoned and whatever else, because of all the things I've chucked at her. I'm this point I'm not using battle items, because this isn't about speed now. This is just about claiming that coin that I picked up a minute ago. Still targeting red. Always target the off color. Red is the off color, obviously, because I've got greens. There we go. So 2 minutes 15 and whatever else. It may even be a reasonable score. But oh, there you go, new high score. It's a reasonable score, but it's not what I need. I need to be higher than that, realistically. This has got no chance written all over it, because there's not a single green on the screen. Unless things change extremely dramatically on this, my third move. I think we can just hit flee on that one. There's no greens there. So as ever, you want a good screen to start with. You'll see there is a sort of progression on my scores: 30, 33, 35, 37, 39, 42, 43. 43, therefore, is a little bit low. It should be about 45, that one. So 7 is one I'm looking at thinking, oh, that's one to improve. 8 is 48, yeah, that's the 9 is where the exception comes now because there's 3 bosses on 9. So 9 is always going to be higher than 10, 11, and 12, which feels a bit weird. You look at it and you go, oh, 10, 11, and 12 very low. But actually, it's just 9 is a place you're going to score more. 10, 11, and 12, they were all reasonable attacks. Not like absolutely 100% amazing, but they were reasonable. And then you're on to 13. Now 13 probably should, therefore, by this standard, beat number 9. Not it should be way above like 11, 10, 11, and 12. Obviously, it already is, but it should probably beat number 9 as well. So it gives you just a vague idea of what you should be heading for. The score I had there was reasonable, but it was a slow score. Blum, blum, blum. Move number 2 is going to be the one which decides this. Really nice, nice few combos. It's whether there is whether those combos can be turned into anything valuable. No, not really. Plenty of combos. I mean, my match bonus should be phenomenal here. Let's keep this. I'm going to see how this one pans out because I'm going for the match bonus is based around the scores on your combos. This one is going to be completely random. I mean, it may be rubbish. It may be amazing. It's really hard to say. Obviously, basically anything other than green is doing no damage because it's like all or nothing. Big combo, just a lot of luck with the combos on the screen. Obviously, they're not the right colours, which is the key thing. So I suspect, yeah, no, I think this is just sadly the combos were lovely, but they're just off colours. They're not the colours I need, so I may as well see it flee. Did I get the right one there? No, not playing now. That one, thank you. So yeah, even though obviously I've completed the stage, I could move on to the next level and whatever else have you. I'm not going to because I'm just going to keep replaying until I get a score I'm happy with. I find this easier than to sort of complete it and go back. You can do it either way. I mean, people have their own views. You could even almost go with red on this one, except that you then have a real struggle to defeat Red Hood because of her reflecting powers. So I would always, weirdly, I made the mistake earlier on in the tournament going, oh yeah, I'll go with red on this round. And then obviously my heroes managed to kill themselves extremely quickly. So it wasn't very much help. So then, where are we at? How long until my thing? Oh yeah, 10 seconds. As it's 10 seconds, I'm going to wait, and then I will use another flask. Unfortunately, basically, if you want a really high score, you have to be prepared to chuck flasks at it like mad, because it's basically down to how many times you replay each mission. So here we go. Bum, 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 bum. That sucks. Just at a glance, I'm looking at this and thinking, this is a sucky screen. Sucky screen. Yep, that sucks. I'm not even going to try and go any further. I'm still really annoyed that I won a war attack and I've lost it because of a blooming phone. Stupid. So I've been saving my world energy flasks since the last tournament, in fact. So that's where I tend to get most of them. Now on this one, I'm thinking straight away. I've got a 5 in a row green, which has got to be good. Let's fire that off up here. Boom. Now, oh my goodness me, how the heck did that little one survive that? Gonna be this is gonna be the move which makes or breaks it. It's just a lack of greens, and this should have been an awesome attack. The first wave is cleared in seconds. The second wave, suddenly the greens are gone. And that's what you need, is unfortunately you need, or I find you need, like 2 or 3 waves of good greens, or whichever colour you are stacking. Now this one is actually looking suddenly more promising because I've suddenly got those ones in there as well. So 50 odd seconds, boom, 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 boom. Axes going in, arrows going in. I tend to use them now on the boss waves. You don't need to do the sound effects. The sound effects don't actually help you. They help me, but they don't necessarily help anyone else. Boom. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. This is where you kind of, how quickly can I stuff mana into these guys. Let's get them finished off. Boom, 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 boom. Let's hit the green gem. This should. There we go. So 142.5. I suspect it will be our new high score, 65,605. So it's quite a progression. It's still not amazing. It could have been a lot quicker than that. That one to me does not say this is like the screen that was the best in the world. And obviously the further up you get, the more that it matters. The more points you can score, basically. So if you get a low score on an early mission, well, the chances are you might make another 500,000 points or whatever. The further you go up the table, the more points there are per mission, and this is why obviously the ones later on matter that little bit more. So this one, 20 seconds through the first wave. I'm going to target these guys because they're not going to get hit by this attack here. Let's just see. We're going green. Can we get through? Let's see again. This is going to be another one where I'm going to say. So we've got tons of attacks. Let's go axes. Bomb, 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 bomb. Pom, axes go in. Pom, 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 pom. Arrows go in. Target the green. I'm not going to hit what's her name again because she has got what do you call it? I'm not hitting Brienne again because her special skill is already up and maxed, and it will probably be better because other people have hit them. And there we go, 121.7. That should 69,354. So again, you can see like the way I've done it, and I'm not saying this is the best way. This is just the way I do it. Is I look for the first two waves to be really quick and then go mad on the third wave with the axes and the arrows and the bombs. In the first few waves, I tend to do it the other way around. So it tends to be that, like, you get a great screen. Oh, let's go for it. Chuck in the axes, the arrows, and the bombs on the second wave. So you've got the special skills to finish off the third wave. On this one, I find I tend to clear the second wave and then use the axes, arrows, and bombs on the bosses because the bosses have got better armor and whatever else have you. Whereas the axes, arrows, bombs, dragon attacks, whatever you're using, whichever level of the game you're at, they do the same amount of damage regardless. So they're not so affected by armor and everything else. This is just my personal view. I can't say it's right. I don't know it is. There may be players out there who score higher than me. To be fair, there's probably only about 30 of them on rare anyway. So those 30 obviously have a different strategy, and their tactics or whatever are going to be better than mine. Because I'm obviously I'm finishing below them. But that said, I'm finishing above nearly everyone else. So it's obviously I'm doing something right, just perhaps not quite right enough, if that makes sense. Anyway, we'll see how this pans out. So I'm sorry I've waffled a little bit here. Now I'm going to upload this video tomorrow, hopefully. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned at some point, I'm having a bit of Wi-Fi problem at the moment. So I will try and get to somewhere there's public Wi-Fi to upload this because unfortunately uploading a video takes an awful lot of your data. As I also mentioned, I may try and video me attacking a guy called Violence in our current Alliance war, which I would have done tonight. Unfortunately, things went incredibly wrong for me because my phone lost reception and anyway, not that I'm bitter. Anyway, so I hope that gives you sort of like a flavour on the sort of the tougher missions at the end on how to get a high score. That's my view. There doubtless are better ways to do it. I mean, maybe if you can clear the first screen and set yourself up with gems and what, like a diamond on the screen so that you can just like blow the bosses out your way. maybe that's a better option. I mean, sometimes you can. I find basically to me it's a case of like going for the best that I can get without replaying it 1,000 times. I mean, I don't know how many times I replayed that mission. You possibly could have got a better screen, but I wouldn't want to just keep going again and again and again and again. That's my view. Anyway, so this remains saying like I hope that was of some help. I'm sorry if it wasn't. It is tough. The last stages of the challenge event are much harder to get the really tip top scores, and yet those are the ones where you can like boost your scores the most. I've done this many times, and I would say on like level one, I rarely get much above 31,000. So the amount you can boost your score on number one is very small, whereas the amount you can boost your score on 13, 14, and 15 is pretty considerable. So those are really the ones to actually focus on, but they're also the ones that are hardest to get a like massive score, because you can't go for the tactic of look for an awesome screen, clear the first wave, because then you need an awesome screen onto the second wave as well. Or that's how I interpret it anyway. So yeah, apologies if this wasn't a massive help. Like I say, it's a lot of this is just my thoughts. Remember to check out. There's plenty of online guides as to what colours you will go for. I mean, green would seem a ridiculous colour to go for when red is the reflecting colour, because green obviously is the weakest against red. But if you check the online, you can see what colours you're going to face. So on mission 13, I was facing blue and green, so there's no point in taking blue. I'm better off taking green. Green is strong. Green is equal against green and strong against blue. So consider those kind of things. Make sure you are strongest against the mobs. That is generally viewed as the way to do it, as I understand it. Is be strong against the mobs, not against the bosses, because you want to get through the mobs quickly, and the bosses then kind of flick through. Really, I guess you just chuck everything at them at the end. I hope this was of some help. Anyway, it remains for me to say, may death come swiftly to your enemies. Remember to like and subscribe. Comments are always appreciated, especially if you could tell me how to get a better score. I would greatly like that, because, like I say, I'm always trying to get into top 10, and I've never quite got there. I'm reasonably confident on this tournament. You'll see me in the top 100 if you do watch. If you keep an eye on me. But I doubt if I'll make top 10. I reckon I'll be top 30 or so this time round. But, keep an eye on me. You can see me there. I mean, certainly it's enough that I can feel quite proud of the score that I've got. It may not be enough that I can sort of brag and get any kind of special bonuses and whatever else, and like an event avatar would be nice, but seems a long way off. Anyway, so it remains for me to say good night. It's nice to speak to everyone. Take care of yourselves. This is Farmer Ben saying, remember, like, subscribe, and all the rest of those things YouTubers say. Take care. Goodbye.